Welcome to the Dare to Be Different podcast. I'm your host, Austin, and joining me as usual is.
KB Cabello otherwise, and today we are talking about our topic for Christmas, for the holidays.
And the final episode of season 2.
Actually, yes,
Yo,
quite indeed. Yeah, this is our finale.
what a journey it's been.
What a journey, what a year. We thank God that we've been able to keep doing it. And yeah, man, as much as sometimes you'll delay or there'll be like a bit of a wait in between, we still get back to it. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, we saw our rap.
Yes, we got people from the Philippines, from Australia,
mate.
listening in.
India even. So yeah, we're not sure at all who you are, but we love you very much. Thank you so much.
So we've done, this would be episode 16.
Yeah.
So I
So
think
that's-
that's a whole year. Good 16 episodes. We talked about finances. A big one was lust and sin. I think beginning of the year we're talking about work.
Yes. Fruitfulness and all that.
Yeah, so
We had a pretty good year, man. Pretty good year. So now to wrap it all up, we are looking into the topic of surviving family during the holidays. And it's not necessarily even like just the path or the notion of having a tough family environment, but also, we look into things like having people that aren't around anymore,
yes.
and then otherwise just generally what the holidays mean. So this looks to be a pretty cool study. And just FYI, we took up an existing Bible study on a website, right, that we found via the Bible app, the YouVersion Bible app, and then we actually just condensed it. We did use AI, condensed it, but we did use source material. We condensed it such that we could have a discussion similar to our usual Bible studies, and it turned out something quite nice. So we hope you enjoy during this Christmas season. So yeah, first things first. Yeah, first things first. What do we need to know? Do you want to just read for us this the first part?
Okay, cool. The battlefield of the living room. So we'll be looking at Romans 12 verse 18 and Colossians 3 verse 12 to 15. The holidays often arrive with high expectations but land with heavy reality. Travel fatigue, regression to childhood roles, and tension. The Apostle Paul offers a strategy in Romans 12 verse 18. It says, if possible, so far as it depends on you, live peacefully with all. We cannot control our family's behavior, but we can control our response. In Colossians 3, we are told to clothe ourselves with compassion, kindness, and patience. This is a wardrobe change for spiritual battle. We are called to choose costly love over the need to be right. Bearing with one another just as Christ bears with us. We'll just go over the scriptures again.
Yeah. So we're gonna read them later on. In any case,
Okay.
yeah. So we'll come back to those. This is gonna be decently interesting because the stuff that especially like people like you and I who don't like live at home anymore, whether it be people studying or people that have moved out, whatever it may be, because that's just what you call it, leaving the nest, whatever. We still do tend to go back to our families for Christmas and all that, which is good.
Even if it's like just on Christmas Day, so
Yes.
we try our best to see them.
Yeah, it's a blessing, and it really is important for us to honor each other, love each other. But yeah, we can't deny there are those dynamics, there are those expectations, there are those, like, there's stuff that you forgot even exists until you get home, and it's like, oh, hey, kind of, this is why I left, that usually tends to be. That's like we were.
Oh, hectic, man. And then all the questions from relatives, when you're getting married.
Hey, that
one is the killer, man.
With my family so far, I don't really experience that, so I'm thankful for that. I don't know, we'll see, but okay, it's me. I think also people don't like to get into discussions like that with me. I don't know, but
But recently it hasn't been too hectic, but it comes here and there. But
yeah, man. All right. Next, it speaks of the empty chair. And this is where we're going to focus on Psalm 68, verse 6, but we'll be reading that later. It says, "For many, the holidays are defined by who isn't there. Eish. Whether due to death, distance, or estrangement, loneliness strikes hard." Amen. Ish. Yeah, I'm thinking of some people I know, some friends, some family even. Psalm 68 verse 6 promises, God sets the lonely in families. When biological family is absent or unsafe, God often fills that void with spiritual family, the body of Christ. Loneliness is not a failure. It is a space God wants to fill. Hey, and God has a heart for the brokenhearted, for the lost, for the lonely.
Why is it like Christmas time we always think about those we have lost? Why not other times of the year?
Yo, I guess the rest of the year is just so busy, and Christmas time is so family focused.
Yeah.
It's so togetherness focused, sitting around the table, buying gifts. Like, who do you buy gifts for and who buys gifts for?
Yes.
It's just, yo.
And a lot of like core memories I made. Like if I think about like my childhood and stuff, a lot of it revolves around December, eh?
Yeah.
Just like we were speaking about it like last time, that last day of school.
Yeah.
How it would be is like so much anticipation because we know December is like
It's starting.
it's starting. Yo.
Yeah. Hey, guys. So, really something, an interesting thing we'll talk a bit more about. And then, finally, just read that last bit.
Okay, reclaiming the holy days. So we'll be looking at 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18. The word holiday comes from holy day. We can reclaim the season through three postures: thanksgiving or gratitude. 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances. Gratitude is a weapon against bitterness." Christmas or trust, just as the world waited for the Messiah, we will wait on God to move in our relationships. And then New Year, hope, the calendar reset is a reminder that Jesus makes all things new. It is a chance to break generational cycles. Amen.
I like that. I really like that last one also. Quite a bit actually. But yeah, trust, that's also a big one, man. Just as the world waited, we wait on God to move. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. All right. And then before we get to our questions, what's the big idea? This discussion navigates the gap between the perfect holiday, quote unquote, and reality. It challenges us to choose peace over being right, find spiritual family in loneliness, and anchor ourselves in gratitude. I like that. All right, some discussion questions. Icebreaker question. It says, when you think of the holidays, quote unquote, and family, quote unquote, what is the first emotion that hits you? Is it excitement, dread, anxiety, indifference? Why is there often a gap between the quote unquote hallmark version and reality? Interesting. That's an interesting question as well.
Yeah, I think for me, like the older I get, the less exciting it is. I remember like younger, especially like primary school, like I loved December and I loved holidays. I loved everything about it, just being able to be free, play PlayStation. And I remember for me, my dad would only get us the full DSTV package in December. Literally, that's the only time. So the rest of the year we had like the lowest, I think it was called compact version. So December we had Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Mnet, all the movie channels and stuff. So literally my eyes would be in front of the TV. Like if I think how much hours I spent in front of a device as a child, it's crazy.
Square eye.
But also like just when I was younger, we'd go to my grandparents' house.
Oh, yeah.
We call it the farm because they literally had a farm
Oh, yeah.
in Randfontein. So it'd be me and my two cousins, who I'm super close with. So, and I think I'm super close with them is because we would go every December to stay a few weeks with my grandparents. And they didn't have DSTV. They just had TV, like one two SABC 1 2
No TV.
TV. So we'd only watch like, I think the stuff would still only, kid stuff would still only come up on 3 o'clock, even during the holidays. And this was SB2, I think. But anyway, when there was one computer, one of those, old Windows 95
Yes, sir.
box television computers, and there was preloaded games on it. And there was one game called Professor Tim, Incredible Machine. And it's basically like a puzzle game where I don't know if you know what's a Ruby Goldberg machine. Like you set off one thing, then you hit
Oh, yes.
like a chain of events.
A chain of events.
Yeah, so
Like,
now, yeah.
yeah.
So now imagine that in a like a video game format. So you start off with one thing, and then you have to, it goes all the way. So we'd just sit in front of the computer and play that, and then we'd go outside and play, and then like I remember the one year we bought the whole tree house. Nothing very fancy. We just put, there was wood. We found wood, like these planks, and we put it on the tree, and then we put like a mat over the planks, and then we made a ladder. So we'd climb up and chill there on top of the tree. Like we did crazy things. We made swings. We made like a teeter totter. We made a whole golf course the one year.
That's pretty cool.
We invented games.
Mm.
We created so much. Like a lot of my creativity comes from like just those moments, because we didn't have anything else but to be creative. Like we would find dominoes, and then like 3 hours would go by us coming up with domino games, because we don't know how to play the traditional domino.
Yeah.
It would just be like, and then we just came up with so many games, man. And time just flew, man. And so if I come back, so like early on in life, it was very exciting, and I think now with working, like you work during December, so it doesn't feel like much until you take that leave, or if your company closes, then it's like super chilled. And then I go a little bit earlier. And I stay with my parents for like Christmas Eve, and then like maybe a few days after Christmas, just spend time with them. And then even sometimes now in December we'd go on holiday. So I look forward to those stuff. So it hasn't become like bleak or anything. I would say it's just not the same as when I was a child. But yeah, there's still good moments. I still love Christmas Day. But like recently, the past 2 years, Christmas Day, like ever since COVID, because I remember in 2020, like COVID, my dad had COVID Christmas 2 days before Christmas, so we couldn't celebrate. No, sorry, on Christmas Day. Yeah, on Christmas Day, we like, nah, you look very sick. We can't take a chance. And so it turned out he did have COVID. So like in 2020, it's 2021, 2020, yeah, 2020, the December 2020, we just spent at home, four of us. Like Christmas Day, I love it when it's everyone, the uncles, the aunts, the cousins, everyone's bringing food, the turkey, the roast meat, everything. And so it was the first time, um, actually, no, it was the second time we were away from family, because the year before we were in Japan in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So we spent Christmas with one of, like another family in their house. So that was interesting. And we were even saying like on the flight back, like we can't do this again. We can't not spend Christmas with the big fam, with the extended fam. Um, but yeah, that was, yeah. So Christmas Day has been a little bit hit or miss these recent years. But we'll see this year. I think with Christmas, it's all about the right attitude and just making the most. I know like people get stressed when it comes to like food and like stuff like that. The year before last year, we even went to a restaurant. We decided, hey, let's not stress about food. Let's just go to a restaurant. They're gonna do buffet style. Eat as much as you want. Enjoy yourself. And that was really nice. That was really nice. But yeah, looking forward to Christmas Day this year. Yeah. Uh just I think also one thing as an adult, before let me just end this. I think like media and stuff, you notice it more as an adult. it's sort of, what is the word, satirize?
Sensationalized?
Saturated. Saturated, yeah, yeah. Like Christmas becomes so like media focused and buy this, buy that, that like joy of Christmas go commercialized. That's the word. The joy of Christmas goes away. Whereas a kid, I feel like you just didn't notice it. You're just excited to play. Whereas obviously now as adult, we're noticing more things. So the commercialization of it, yeah. So like this year, I want to watch more Christmas movies. I want to, maybe spend more time with the family because I remember like that joy of Christmas is sort of fading away. Like even last year, I don't even think I watched a Christmas movie, So I want to try and, watch the classics, and we're gonna go for the Nutcracker play as well next week. So get into a more Christmas bread. But yeah, yeah, that's for me. What about you? What happens? What feelings do you get if you think
Emotion. You can hear with my is probably more or less, it's sort of indifference. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, like recently or always?
Since for quite a few years now, because as I've grown up, man, like,
You don't believe in Santa anymore?
hey, bruh, hey, okay, let me tell you quickly. There's one time when I was, I don't know, grade 3, 4, 5, I don't remember, and I decided, let me just check what happens if I put milk and cookies out. Right, I left it late at night before I went to sleep, bro. Came back, Christmas morning, it was still there. I was like, oh, it's still there, bro. I was like, damn, who's to tell your parents you're leaving it out? Yeah, yeah, no, I know. I don't know. I think I was like, yeah, let me just see. I don't know if Santa is going to come. Yeah, I don't know. And to see him in the flesh. I don't know why I did that, but I did it late at
Your
night.
parents didn't, your mom didn't shout at you for
Wasting. I don't think they saw it.
the milk. Oh, they didn't see that or drink it.
It's not it probably. I don't remember. I'm gonna lie. Probably.
It's like a Santa's not gonna have it.
And as well. So yeah, but no, man. Me for a lot of these days, I chill, man. Like my birthday, Christmas, all this stuff. Like I'm happy because we tend to have family get-together, so it's always nice to see the family and everything. But the day in and of itself, I don't put too much expectation on it. I mean, since the year that I got, since I got soap for Christmas, I was like, you know what? Let me actually just chill.
Wait, sorry, say what?
I got soap for Christmas, though.
From who?
It's not important. It's not important.
Oh,
But that's basically what I got. Like
the only gift of the year.
yeah, pretty much stuff like that. So I was like,
No one bought you anything else.
what the heck? I can remember that time.
At least they bought you something.
Something, yeah, sure.
What about your sister? Didn't she buy you anything?
I don't. You're going to incriminate people. Now.
Okay.
So no, but this was a while back. Yeah.
Oh,
He was like killing me with that. Anyway, so
as mistress, they were trying to tell you something.
sometimes, but hey. But yeah, so for me, I think
Was it at least fancy? So, or was it like Dove?
ish. It was some shower gel from movies.
Oh, shower gel.
From movies, not too bad. So yeah, man. So for me, it lost a bit of that twinkle, that wonder for me. Growing up, also as you were saying with the commercialization, now that we're adults, we are adults who pay for things, Baba. So
Yeah.
so now it's lost a bit of that wonder, that twinkle. But so yeah, for me, the gap between the Hallmark version and reality is just what our experience was of it as a kid, how innocent it was, and how I wouldn't lie, how it was catered to us versus how it is now. Now I get asked, where's my gift? So bruh, like now as you grow older, oh yeah, this was the other thing that I thought of while you were talking actually is as a child, there's not really anything to worry about. It's just wonder. As a child, you wonder. As an adult, as an adult, you worry. Oh, that's a boring one. Anyway, but like, because the older you get, you're more involved in setting up Christmas. So it does lose a bit of that. Even though we kind of see it in the movies. But hey, bro, as a kid, I was a kid, bro. So yeah, that's what it is for me, I'll say. I think that's why there's a gap. Because as you grow up, that just is what it is, man. Also inflation, bro, the economy, bro. Strolls economy. Yo. But yeah. All right, let's get into the Bible. Sir, do you have the Bible? Yeah, you got it there. It says read Romans 12, verse 18. And then, yeah, I'll ask the question once you're done there.
Okay. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone.
Mhm. So, what does "so far as it depends on you" look like practically at a family dinner? Yo.
So I think, let me just start off like, if I look back at my family dinners on Christmas Day, so personally, there hasn't been much tension. The tension that I felt on Christmas Day was the getting to the dinner,
Oh, yeah.
the like the prep. My mom would be, making the food, and then we want to leave, and then someone is doing something else, so we're wasting time. Then there's like I'm still playing PlayStation or something, and then we're supposed to get into the car. So there's like this tension before we actually get to the dinner. But like once we're at like either my grandparents' house or my uncle's house, like everything just chills. No, there's not like bickering or fighting or someone making snarky comments. So for me, I'm not sure if I'll be able to answer this question really well, but I think there can be questions that someone can bring up, especially, you get those distant relatives you might have, or that one uncle, that one auntie that always gets on your nerves. So it's like, here's asking, so far as depends on you. So you can't control what other people say to you, but you can control how you respond to them.
Yes, sir.
So I think that's what this verse is trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
as far as you can take it, take it. You know what I mean? So yeah, but in my defense, it hasn't. There's been tension and stuff. Most of the time, I deflect. That's what I do. I don't try and answer people's nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna ask stupid questions, then I'm just gonna ignore you and move. But if I think like Christmas time, yeah, I'm not really. There's been some questions that I will get annoyed with.
Okay, because you're saying stupid questions, just give us, hey, sorry if someone's listening and they hear their question they've asked. Give an example.
Mm, like the one to be like, um, oh, you're a software developer, right? Like you never knew what my job was this whole time.
Maybe they didn't. Oh,
Nah,
shame, man.
like I feel like a lot of time with some of the family, they don't realize that I've been working for 6 years.
Sure.
So some questions seems a little bit they don't realize like, hey, bro, your man's a man. He's an adult now.
Yeah.
I don't live with my parents.
Yeah.
I pay for my own electricity and groceries. I'm not a child, so don't ask me childhood questions. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, they're not like just people. People tend to judge you, but they don't know your circumstance.
Oh.
Like before I got this car, they'd be like, "Oh, so you're still driving your dad's car?" But like you don't know the circumstance. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so. But anyway, all right. Let me not dive too deep. But yeah, so a lot of times I would just deflect and stuff. So I don't engage with the people. I don't know if that's living peacefully.
I was gonna say, do you think so? But, yeah.
Well, I don't try to make more tension out of it.
Okay. So yeah, fair enough. All right. So what about you, man? So far as it depends on you, look like practically at a family dinner. It means winning every single in. No, I'm kidding.
Don't act like that hasn't happened before. At the dinner.
No, not really. So
Where you on debate and you try to win.
me,
Yeah.
with family, yeah. So I'll see whether or not someone's willing to hear my thoughts on a given topic if we're speaking about something, and I'll share. If we are just having a discussion, I'll share my thoughts. If someone says something strongly opinionated or polarizing, whatever, I'll maybe ask questions.
You know,
A lot of the time, people just tend to be sharing their thoughts. They don't really ask what you think. So I just listen and be like, oh, really? It's like, why? Like, I just ask questions, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah. And I want to hopefully not get trapped in like a 2-hour long conversation. But beyond that, yeah, no. For me, like, I just like to, I don't know, be loving with my family where I can. I think everyone also just generally knows I'm a bit of a no nonsense person, you know, type of thing. Like, not in a hectic way, but just like, hey man, like let's do things properly. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't really fight with anyone or
so there hasn't been like tension or stuff at the dinner table
would really like.
with other family members.
I was gonna say, I think from time to time, maybe just like when there was arrangements for certain things, or yeah, I think usually okay. One thing I think the most prominent thing is probably gonna be the time we were supposed to start versus the time we do start.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's mostly gonna be that. And same like my grandmother, my aunts tend to get there well on time, and then you have to wait a bit for people to arrive and for the food to finish, and shame, man. So yeah, that's it. I'll say from my perspective. All right, next question. Let's just see what the thingy says. So it says responsibility. Focus on reaction versus control. We can't stop an uncle's runs, but we can choose not to take the bait.
Yeah.
I think this is a story we tend to. I tend to see this on TikTok actually. People always say that one uncle, that one aunt.
Yeah.
But there's always anyway. Okay. Number 3 says read Colossians 3 verse 12 to 13. All right. So please.
Okay, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you.
All right. Paul tells us to put on compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Which of these garments is hardest for you to wear around your family? Ooh. That's an interesting one.
I think for me, it could be all of them. It really depends on the person.
Okay.
With some people, I have no compassion for, or no kindness for, humility, patience, gentleness. For some people, I have all of them.
Yeah.
And it also depends on the time, I guess. But most of the time, people aren't that hectic.
Yeah.
But it could be one of them with one person and something also another person. There isn't like one I really struggle with. Maybe patience. That could be it. Sometimes it's just like these people don't see you the way you want to see them, or the way you want them to see you.
Yeah.
Just relax, take it easy, just enjoy the dinner. It's okay. But anyway. But it's not like hectic. It's maybe just moments and times, but yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, from my side, it might be patience. Yeah, because I wouldn't say humility. No, gentleness. More and more over the years, I've learned. Shame, man. And you see, the thing with me also, like I have to, bro. Like I can't not be intentional about gentleness because like I'm tall, because my voice sounds like this. So I can't not be intentional about gentleness.
What do you mean your voice sounds like this?
It's loud and deep.
So it makes people think you're not.
People tend to tell me, hey, can you just keep quiet? Or they tell me, hey, you're very loud. People tell me I'm scary.
Someone told you you're scary.
Yeah, people tell me I'm like your family. I'm intimidating. No, not my family. No, I'm intimidating. It's usually like
What people?
nah, not even. No, what people won't say that to you. It's mostly people at church. Honestly, that's a good intersection of like friends, but people you also like. Volunteers, you see, people will tell you, especially in that space, because they'll tell you because they're in that space. Yeah, especially when you're around like children or teens, um, other young adults or leaders or whatever will tell you stuff like,
That you're scaring the children.
well, not in those words, but yeah, that's funny actually. But yeah, so coming back, I think for me it's mainly going to be patience, compassion. I think is fine. Kindness, I think, kind of for me goes along with gentleness, humility. Yeah, out of my family, man, like it's tough not to be. I don't know. That's just the way I've grown up with them. But yeah, patience is probably going to be one for me. That's might be the hardest to put on. Um, and yeah, this is coming from, I guess, growing up uh in a relatively critical environment. You know, where we analyze each other, we give each other feedback, criticize each other for lack of a better term. You know, um. So for me, like patience can be a hard one, but I've been learning more and more over the years. Uh,
To have patience.
yeah, especially stuff that I've seen time and time again. It's like, we're here again, but yeah. Okay. Oh, it's mainly gonna be with like
Is it-
waiting and like stuff like that.
Oh, the waiting.
Yeah, it's mainly stuff like that. Nothing hectic, but yeah. But yeah, it is important for us to put on these different comments. And honestly, it helps us to live peaceably if we put on these comments, if you're asking. If we put on the comment of humility, gentleness, patience, compassion, and kindness. And also understand that, guys, things really aren't that big of a deal. Like, we can also just tell people things in a way that's compassionate, kind, humble, gentle, patient. Like, um, if someone say, I don't know, if the time is going, he'll be like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but time is going. Like, not say it in a hectic way, you get what I'm saying? But if someone's being frantic, like sometimes we might be like, yeah, it's because. We could rather actually just be like, no, 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 like, it's okay. Like, let's see, what can we do about a situation? You know, like, or, imagine someone burns food or something, I don't know, and you panic and stuff. I guess in that situation, like, yeah, it's because you don't pay attention. No, I'm just imagining that's, yeah. So rather those are moments especially I think we should take to just, yeah. And when people also say stuff to us or ask questions that we don't like, I guess you can be like, what do you mean by your question? What would you really like to know? Or why do you think that? You know, this type of thing.
Sure.
I'm trying. Here you are. I'm trying to put on the comments. I'm trying to put on the comments.
Okay, what advice would you give people who are not living, who face those, because clearly from our discussion, we're not in that extreme case. And we know our people that
Yeah.
they dread Christmas Day because there's that one family member that they can't really get rid of,
Yeah.
but they have to see them anyway.
Yeah.
And they know questions are going to come, or
Yes.
things are going to be said, or actions are going to be taken.
Yeah.
That's just going to annoy them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, as like a believer, what do I do? I can't avoid the situation. I want to be there for my parents and my family, but that one family member just irks me.
Yeah. 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 No, there I would say honestly, where you do interact with them, you know, like where you can't avoid it, then do so as humbly as you can, as kindly as you can, as gently as you can. Like just try and be a good person because it's the right thing to do. Like as far as it be with you. Like, okay, here's something I know, for instance, that I've just read that people deal with is family members saying, "Ooh, you've gained weight." You know, example, I just know it's something that I've seen people complain about on social media, like say, it's, you never have to comment on stuff like that. So if you get that type of comment,
Yeah.
okay, let me say, okay, personally, I only really look at my weight that much. I like right now, I think, for instance, I've gained a little bit around my stomach recently, which, yeah, anyway, I won't talk too much about it, but I don't know, if someone tells me I've gained weight, I'll be like, oh, I'll just continue with my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. But
How do you not take it to like heart that someone's criticizing?
dude, if I've gained weight, I've gained weight. Like, what now? You know, type thing. So if they tell me like, I don't know, I'm just trying to think. Me personally, if you tell me I'm fat, I'd be like, oh, you think so? And then they'd be like, yeah. And then what more are they going to say? And then if they're going to continue, I'm just, okay, I'm trying to just thumb suck and brainstorm now. Like what someone might say, yeah, it's because you don't eat properly and all that stuff. I'll just be like, oh, like, okay, if they tell me, for instance, yeah, you're probably eating a bunch of McDonald's and all that stuff, I'll be like, actually, I've only had McDonald's twice this year. Okay, this is me specifically, it's just example. But like, I don't know, like, I would maybe listen to what they're saying. I would be like, okay, maybe I'd say, why do you think that? Which is a tough thing to ask someone if they might be insulting you, but to say, why do you think that, if they're starting to say, oh, you eat all this, you don't eat right and all that, I'll say, why do you think that? And now shame, I know this must be tough, especially considering, I'm going deep into this gain weight one, actually. I wouldn't lie. But for some people, like, shame, man. Yeah, some people will gain weight because of stress eating. Some people will gain weight, yeah, stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, it's a tough one. But at the end of the day, if someone just wants to say what they want to say, it's like, okay. And then you can say nothing, honestly. I'll be honest. Like, just saying nothing might be one of the best parts you can take. Like, sometimes people just want to say stuff, you know?
I think from friends and families that I know of that've been in the situation, they've been in situations where the one family member purposely wants to insult you and point you out and make you I don't, for some reason that person just doesn't like you. And I've always noticed the situation it would be like that it's always an older person, so they use that older like, I'm older than you must listen to me, I can say what I want demeanor. And yes, that was fine 20 years ago, but now we're all adults. You can't come with that same attitude now that because you used to treat me like this, like when I was 5 years old. Because the same uncle when you were 5 is the same uncle when you're 35. You know what I mean? Like, so that person can still insult you. I think my advice is it's hard. It's firstly you're gonna have to pray about it, which is very probably hard. Pray for them, like I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus says, pray for your enemies. And then secondly, just don't take it to heart.
Yeah.
That person means if clearly you don't mean anything to them, so why must they mean something to you? If they can just insult you flat out like that, then they don't really value you highly, so you shouldn't value them highly either. Um, but I know as a Christian, we should still try and love them. So I know it's a bit contrasting with what I'm saying. Pray for them, but I think mainly just
Don't take it to heart.
don't take it to heart.
And with don't take it to heart, actually, what came to mind now is also, usually whenever people have something negative to say towards you, it's a reflection of how they feel about themselves.
Oof. Yeah.
It comes from whatever's going on in their hearts, their minds. It comes from
Jealousy, maybe.
can be jealousy, shame. Sometimes it can be a trauma response. It can be learned behavior. So that especially is stuff that, as far as you can, do not take to heart. If people see to, like, they speak to you in an insulting way, a hurtful way.
And we can also just walk away. Like,
Yeah.
I've heard of situations where someone will insult them in private. Like, if you're calling me into like a kitchen or another room just to insult me, then I'm gonna walk away. I don't need to be there.
You can say, I don't want to be a part of this conversation.
Exactly. If you want to insult me in front of the whole family. Then let's see how big you are. Then, and people might even do that.
They might do that. I would say I'd rather not have this conversation.
Yes, yeah.
I'd rather
So
talk about something else, something like that. I don't know. It's tough stuff, guys. It really is. But
Oh, can we talk about 30 seconds quickly?
oh gosh, all right.
Family games. Like, things can get so heated. I've seen it in my family, like in myself even. Competitiveness just goes through the roof for some reason on on these family outings. And
Everyone wants to prove themselves.
everyone wants to prove themselves, and then people get so angry when they lose or they can't communicate well. Guys, it is just a game. Have fun. If your team loses, 30 seconds, remember, a lot of people aren't good on the spot. They may be very good thinkers. And some people just don't have good general knowledge.
They don't know everything.
They don't know everything, man. So I feel like I'm speaking to myself because I get so angry if my team loses because I'm so competitive. But like the other day, we played 30 seconds in the Connect group, and I was like, I doubt my team's gonna win. Because I was like with a lot of the older women in the Connect group. I was like, oh, how am I going to communicate with them? Because they won't be thinking on my level. But we ended up winning.
Nice.
Because I was just like, you know what, it's fine. I'm here to just have fun. I'm going to take it chill. I'm just going to do my best.
Good positive.
If people only get 1 out of the 5, it's fine. Let's just have fun. I was just laughing at people, just enjoying.
Bro,
Try-
seconds is so much fun.
Exactly. If you
When-
make it fun,
Yeah.
if you make it competitive, then
like I'd be laughing at what people be answering. I'd be laughing at stutters. I'd be clapping when people get like 5 and then turn the card over. I'm like, now you ate that. Like,
Yes.
celebrate people, otherwise laugh with them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be heated and end up. You don't have to cry, guys.
You don't have to fight.
You don't have to fight.
Yeah, it's not that tense, guys. Same with
Exactly.
Monopoly, just by the way. I actually want to see if I can organize games with my family, actually. That would be nice. I should do that.
You can even borrow some of mine.
Oh, shout out. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. All right.
All right, next question. Huh?
Next one says, read Psalm 68, verse.
This is a tough one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to read verse 3 as well and verse 5.
Okay.
Psalm 68. But let the godly rejoice. Let them be glad in God's presence. Let them be filled with joy. Sing praises to God, to his name. Sing loud praises to him who rides the clouds. His name is the Lord. Rejoice in his presence. Father to the fatherless, defender of widows. This is God, whose dwelling is holy. God places the lonely in families. He sets the prisoners free and gives them joy. But he makes the rebellious live in a sun-scorched land. Psalm 68.
Sure. Yeah, this one's a tough one. God sets the lonely in families. How can this verse comfort someone who can't go home or has a toxic home life? How can our group be that family? Oh,
And this is what I think church needs to be. There are so many people that maybe not even have a family, just moved away. They moved from Durban to Joburg, or they moved from Joburg to Cape Town, or whatever.
another country.
Or they moved to another country because, that's where life took them. And they had to leave their family behind. And it's hard. It's hard because now you don't realize when you left that you're gonna have to deal with Christmas. Only in the Christmas season will you be like, yo, actually, this is tough that I'm leaving. So I think this is where I wish more churches would be like, guys who don't have family, we're gonna do a little Christmas lunch on Christmas Day. Come join us. Let's, have some fellowship and then go. But I do know, like, even if churches do that, or your connect group or whatever your small group does it, there's gonna be that time where you have to leave that group and go back to your apartment or your house, and that loneliness can set in. So I think this verse is very encouraging because the fact that you could spend time even with a spiritual family is amazing. Look at where you were 2 years ago, where you spent Christmas alone, like it's small steps. And you can trust that God will either give you your own family, I don't know, through marriage or whatever, or that your family, you'll be able to see them again, and you'll be able to make that time to either go back home or they come to you, something. You can trust that God will make things work. But for the time being, just be happy with what you have, or not, maybe not be happy, but be grateful for what you do have, so. But it is tough. Like, I can't really relate, so I can't really give you a proper answer. But I know, like, the feeling of leaving your family, like even Christmas, like, time, you spend time with your family and then you come back home and it's like, I wish this feeling could last forever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, yeah. Oh, what you, man? What do you think?
no, my heart just swells a bit for those who don't have
Yeah.
who don't have, man, family especially. So I pray God just equips us more and more to show up for them. But I pray the most that they will receive just the love of God in their hearts, the love of the Father, because the thing is, us as human beings, we do play a massive role in just being community and loving and connecting, but we can never fill like a God-sized gap in someone's heart, man. So I pray for people who have that gap, man. I pray for just for them to rest in the arms of the Father, man, and know that they are loved, because it gets tough, man. Because the thing with people is, again, like you're saying, when you get home and when you leave a place where you're with people, like, it's good to have experienced that, and it's important for us to treasure that and love that, but there is still just that being by yourself, man, and it's tough not to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Or to be vulnerable to loneliness or a bit of despair in those moments, or those periods when you're by yourself, man, and thinking about the emptiness per se. So I just really pray for that. I pray for that, for protection over people from that. I pray for just warmth, for peace, that's a possible understanding, and also to know that this is not the end. Like, there are some days now we experience these tough feelings or these less than desirable situations per se, but we can look forward to days where we will never experience loneliness, never experience the sting of death, never experience, yeah.
So what do you say about those who, like, Christmas is really hard because they've lost someone this year and now it's their first Christmas without them?
I think the thing that first comes to my mind or heart is just see how you can love someone. Find a way to love someone, and in that you will be blessed. I really believe in that we will be blessed. So we don't focus so much on what's happening to us or for us, but more in what we can do. Oh, there's so much blessing in that. So I really think, like, rest in the arms of the Father, because in any case, He does provide for us. It's just hard for us to see or feel it sometimes. Beyond that, look for someone to love, for ways to pour, for ways to connect, not to like don't like overexert yourself per se,
Yeah.
but look for ways you can do that, man.
And it's okay you're allowed to remember someone. You're allowed to grieve them again, you know? Even if it happened in January or whatever. You're allowed to remember them. You're allowed to be grateful for what they've done in your life. Um, just don't let that feelings become depressing and overwhelming. Take it to God, whatever you're feeling. Pray about it. Be grateful for them. And yeah, like you mentioned, that, like, do something for someone else. That person that you lost, they would want to see you happy and joyful, especially during Christmas. They wouldn't want you to be moping or miserable. You know what that person would want for you, and it's not to be miserable during the Christmas season. So you're allowed to grieve, you're allowed to even cry, but don't let it overtake everything during this time of the year.
That is not the end.
Yeah.
That is not the absolute
He will,
truth.
he will wipe every tear.
Yes, sir. Father to the fatherless, as it says, whenever.
Amen.
All right. Next it says, and how can our group be that family, by the way? That's like I was saying earlier on, it's just, yeah. I think let's find ways to connect with people, be intentional about that. If it's one person, if it's a few people, but I think it's important for us, I'll just speak to you, like you and I, as people who have families and friends and whatnot, but let's see if we can show up for even one person, man. Yeah. All right, man. It says, read Thessalonians 5 verse 18.
All right. Be thankful in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus.
Mm-hmm. How can gratitude act as a defense against family drama or disappointment or loneliness? Oh, you kind of spoke,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, I think I'm reminded of this saying: it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all.
Mm.
You know, it truly is a blessing to get to experience and cherish moments we've had with loved ones. I think the the fact that loss in this life is, it's ever looming, it's ever possible. That should help us to be grateful for things, for us to cherish things, for us to be intentional about the time we spend with people. And yeah, man, the life as lived without regrets is the one where you give what you can, and you live in joy, and you live just looking for the best that you can do and that you can be and that you can experience with people. Like, I think we will feel better for each moment, example, that we forgive people, for each moment that we are patient with people, you know, than for the moments where someone, I don't know, did something and we told them off, or some, you get what I'm saying? I think we will feel better having spent more and more moments of our lives putting on the garments of kindness, humility, gentleness. That's just something that occurred to me now. I don't think I'll feel better for telling someone off, man, or winning
You might feel good in that moment.
or in the moment. Yeah, that's one thing. Like,
Yeah,
if I look back, if I remember,
well,
yeah, in the moment, yeah, sure, the ego and the flesh, whatever. But I think I'm just thinking of like some salty old man, like what salty old man, like lying in a hospital bed is gonna remember? Yeah, I remember that day.
one
Coffee. Oh my days.
what does the auditor say for number 5?
Let's check, yeah. Um, Gratitude. It shifts focus from what is missing or annoying, no, to what is present. It reorients the brain. I like that. And then just answer for the previous question. For how can the verse comfort someone who can't go home or has a toxic home life? Spiritual family. God answers this through the church. Family isn't just blood and courage. We must encourage each other to look out for those staying around. Okay, that's a very basic answer from me. All right, but anyway.
Yeah. But I think we've
answered it. So.
all answered. Okay.
Yeah. All right, last one. Final question. The new year represents a fresh start. Is there a negative family cycle or habit you want to break this year with God's help? Oh, that's a nice question.
Phew. I think for me, I really want to build good habits. Especially like habits of being intentional about what is a priority in my life. Like this year, sin has taken that number one spot so many times. And I'm not going to wait for January 1 to do this. I'm going to try today, tomorrow, to make God the number one. And I'm trying. Well, the main thing I want to achieve is like, what does it mean for God to be number one in my life? Like what actually does it mean? How do I make that? Because I know pastors and churches can say to put God first, and seek first the kingdom of God. But what does it actually mean to me? I'm the only one that lives my life. You can't live my life. My parents can't live my life. My friends can't live my life. Only I can live my life. So how do I make God personal to me? What practical things can I do? So I've been trying to work that out, especially we've mentioned before, like we struggle with lust and pornography and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't want those two things to take the number one spot. So definitely 2026, even tomorrow, even tonight, is how do I make God number one in my life, specifically for me? I don't want some generic answer that I can just tell people. I want to be able to be like, yeah, this is why I see God as my savior. This is why I love God, Yeah, so just trying to make it very personal, very, very intentional. Yeah. And obviously to break the habit of sin. But I think the more I realize, it's like I can't white knuckle trying to stop sin. I have to focus on loving God. Like, if I can love God so much that, and I'd be so close to Him, because remember, sin separates God from us. So if I can be more like Him, I can see how He sees sin, and sort of be put off by it.
Yes.
Like how we've had that alcohol example in the last episode. Like, we just don't see it as enticing or whatever. But when it comes to lust and porn, we want more, we want to drink it more. So I just want to see sin the way God sees it, especially lust. I want to view people the way God views people. I want to view myself the way God views me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's beautiful, man. No, I like that. The same for me. Just want to walk in deeper and deeper purity, I would say. That's something I've said to you. I don't remember if I said that in any of the last episodes, but I know I said that to you, that I want to walk in deeper and deeper purity, or renewed purity, because like the sense of it just dulled a bit. It's like, even though I really, like, there hasn't been anything I would label as hectic, in my life, but there's still, for me, I just want to walk in that. Like, I've felt it before, and I just want to feel it in a refined way, in terms of now. Like, before, I think the first time, 2023, when I really like got on a purity journey and accountability journey with you, like, was there. That was a bit more white knuckle than just sort of where I'm at today, right? Today, like, again, it's like you're saying, it's more and more just, for instance, for me, like, how I see women is like, if I see, for instance, a woman exposing themselves, even if it's just like clothing, whatever it is, right? It doesn't have to be nakedness, whatever. But like, I won't forget. I don't remember if it was John Piper or someone else. Oh no, it was, I forget his name now, but he's on Theology of the Body on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
He said something like, he told a story of someone, they were with a reverend or a pastor, I don't remember, and they saw this person, like, their head was following a young lady who was, dressed scantily or whatever. She was walking past, and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then when he turned around, there were tears in his eyes. So, like, he was sad at this person, the choices they're making, how they're living. You get what I'm saying? Like, so for instance, okay, as much as, like, for instance, okay, this is extreme, but you look at things like human trafficking and all that, and it's like, it's sad, and GBV, and it's like, so even stuff like this, in terms of sin, in terms of people chasing these things, like, it's like, for me, seeing someone being a drug addict, seeing someone being alcohol addict, whatever, stuff like that, it's sad, man. So seeing someone look for attention in that way or whatever, I sort of, on my mind, my heart to be changed a bit in terms of that. That's just like sort of one angle for it for me. That's quite powerful. But yeah, just relating to what you're saying about the way we see people and see ourselves. Yeah. And then beyond that, with my family, I think I've said this, like, to my mom, I'm not sure, maybe even to my sister, but I think the enemy is, okay, in general, the enemy is intentional about people the world over being more and more isolated. They just are speaking in our all corners and all that stuff. So me, I think, I want to connect with my family a bit more consistently. I don't think, and I hope that my family does, that I love them. Um, but yeah, man, I don't see them often enough or talk to them often enough. So, and I just need to be like a bit more faithful to it. Like I've got like a reminder on my phone, like every Sunday or every second Sunday that just says call family. And I don't know it. I must actually just wait it. I mean, fortunately, for instance, I see my sister every week at church now, so that's cool. But
Oh, nice.
I won't lie, that's her coming to see me. God bless her. But anyway, so yeah, I think I want to be I think I want to be more intentional about that. Just cherish the time I have with them and love them at their even small things, man. Like at this rate, I tend to see my family a few times a year, man. So I just want to do a bit more of that. Once a quarter, maybe that's better. That's honestly better. You know, we used to actually go out for people's birthdays. Obviously, like that just takes money and everything. Sure. So I don't know, we'll see. But I think a quarterly thing would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to look into. Oh gosh, please show me how in this season and with this resourcing to just connect with people more. Because like the way I think of it, like I really like I have a desire or heart to just have a nice big place where I can like host people and stuff like that. But thing is, it doesn't have to start there, you know, to connect with people. So I'm just praying for more ways to know how to do that or see how to do that.
Invite people for coffee, bro.
Yeah, just go around the corner and stuff like that.
Even if it's a small coffee shop
Yeah.
where you can meet someone.
Yeah, and I tend not to invite people. Like this I know about myself.
Mm.
I tend to just get invited. Here and there I'll say, hey, let's do this and that. Like I can do it, but I just tend to get invited by people. So yeah, I want to be more intentional about that and stop waiting for the big house and the farm and all that, you know. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I think to end this season and this podcast episode, let's just do a little bit of a review of 2025. Just what are some things you're grateful in 2025 for? I'll go first.
Yeah, sure.
So definitely just grateful to God. Like there's so much I've learnt about him this year that, you know, like when you're a Christian, you think, bruh, there's no Bible story that I don't know or something that's gonna surprise me. And this year, God has just shown me how deep his scripture and word is. Like whether it's through sermons or pastors or through, you know, people, it's just like, or even like normal by myself daily devotion. It's just like God has really shown me like I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just grateful that there's still that mystery, you know, it hasn't gone away. I'm just grateful for all that he's done, all the times where I felt alone, all the times where I felt like, nah, man, this is not worth it. You know, whether it's work or I don't know, whatever circumstance, God has just shown up and he's just been a blessing. He's protected my family and my friends, like nothing crazy. Yes, there's been some hospital scares, you know about it, but like was grateful that we all came through, you know, we're all healthy, we're all good. Um yeah, and then even like early this year, you know, lost my manager. What a good person she was. Just very unexpected, you know, like oh God has just shown me that how he can comfort me even through those hard times. Yeah, grateful for the call. Oh yeah, that's amazing. Grateful for this apartment. Grateful for my family. Grateful for you. Grateful for my friends. Really grateful for the job I have. Yeah, like it's like I've shared my testimony last year of how I lost my job and how I've got it. So this has just been one full year at this company, one full calendar year.
Nice.
And it's going good, and it's can just see how God can, you know, make it better. Yeah, what else am I grateful? Grateful for my PlayStation, my TV, the food I ate this year. Oh, and my trip to Zanzibar. I really appreciate it. It's so nice. You take it for granted being able to travel to another country, but thank you, God, so much. That was such a blessing this year. Such a blessing.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, man, I think I'll resonate with many of your sentiments. I thank God for His provision into my life and for never letting go of me, and that I can have a heart that continues to seek Him. And thank Him for instance, going to Germany, and
Oh yes, that was this year. That
was really cool, man, of getting to experience that and just be a part of some awesome experiences with some of my friends and family in terms of like weddings and stuff like that. I thank God for the people He's placed in my life, the things I get to learn, the things I'm challenged by. And also with me being retrenched and like not skipping a beat, but being off for a week and then starting a new job. So thank God for that. Been learning a lot. I've been challenged by the job, but thank God, been challenged in good ways and in slow in challenging ways. But let me say, less desirable ways. But learning a lot, and there's so much opportunity for growth, and also just at church and in ministry, like frustration, but also getting to learn how to move with God, how to build others up in that, how to sharpen, how to be sharpened and stuff. For me, I thank God for all that. Hey God, I still pray you teach me and show me how to take guidance, especially from like proper, like looking to someone as like a mentor or something. Like that's still something that I don't know if I've just got a if it's an unteachable mindset or not unteachable, but like it's not for me to look to someone and be like, show me the way. Like I just learn from people like my friends and a lot of, but I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like just to have like
the humility.
Yeah, I think that's something I need, and also for God to help me identify. But we shall see. I mean, I do have a lot of people I do generally just clip to and speak to and get counsel from. But thank God for that. Yeah, thank God for my family, my friends. Of course, for you, bro, and for this.
Yeah, for the Bible study, for the pod.
Yeah, man, it keeps us grounded.
We always say this is for our future selves.
It does keep us nicely grounded. So, rooted in the Word. So thank you for everyone listening, and it's just awesome. I really hope that this has been a blessing to you today, this past year, and we'll continue to work in this, walk in this, and we're gonna explore just a few new things going into the year. I think we spoke about, for instance, getting a guest. So I spoke it to one person. We'll see if they get back to me. But there's a few people we can speak to and just see, hey. But
and if there's topics that you guys want to talk about in the new year, please feel free to do comments.
Send a message. You guys know us, man.
Yeah, that's also true. Just send a message.
Mostly,
and if the pod has been a blessing to you this year, share it with someone.
Of course.
And thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys have a blessed and safe December coming up.
This has been the Dare to Be Different podcast, season 2. Year wrapped. And we love you very much. Have a blessed year further. See you in the new year.